Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got a lot to say for all of you today. I have a lot that I want to discuss with all of you today. But first and foremost, I do have to say that my video interview with Waters Above Crypto has been recorded and will be posted tomorrow, as all of you need a great indication of what's going to come with this XRP price, the overall crypto market, and the global stage. It was a powerful conversation. And if you like the last one, you're going to love this one. Now, guys, I do want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I would like to discuss how yesterday I had something tough happen that made me want to post this message to all of my followers. The past few years have been extremely difficult for everybody. The XRP army had their profits destroyed by an unjust and corrupt lawsuit. They closed the world for 2 years, forced things on us that we did not like. I was forced out of my home city because I disobeyed. I questioned the integrity of the world and was censored and demonetized for it. A friend of mine killed himself, and a week later was when I got demonetized, meaning one of my main income streams was gone, as that darkness was hovering. I know many people that this happened to over the past couple years, and it deeply saddens me as the world has been in a negative state. We're in the middle of a tragic war, political division in the States, crypto collapsed by 95%, and now we're on the verge of a massive financial crisis that'll tip many people over the edge. And to be honest, I'm not even sure how most people are surviving right now. So I'm taking this moment to tell everyone to take a deep breath, pray, and appreciate everyone around you and everything you have. We are beyond blessed to have made it through the most difficult times likely in our lives. Life is hard, but it's such a blessing that can easily be taken away at any given moment. We've all made it through these unprecedented times, and you're all powerful and amazing for it. And I genuinely pray for greatness for every single one of you. I'm personally more motivated and disciplined in my life than I've ever been before, as I know tomorrow's not guaranteed. But there's something I want to be very honest with all of you about. When they demonetized this channel for 10 months because I was speaking about touchy topics, I really had to neuter my tongue to ensure that I still was here reporting on XRP every day. However, it has made me feel like a portion of my content and a lot of truth is not able to get out to the world. So what I've decided to do is start a podcast discussing many things that I can on this channel to ensure that I could give all of you the most powerful message possible on the planet. Over the next couple days, I'll be releasing this podcast for all of you to be able to see completely free on a couple different platforms, as it's something that I feel genuinely needs to be discussed. Now, guys, without further ado, let's get into the meat and potatoes for today, as the BS detective posted this chart that brought chills down my spine. This monthly chart on XRP tells me all I need to know. This is only the third time in history that XRP flashed this indicator. And the first time it happened was in 2017, where we went up 60,000% roughly. And then the next time it happened, we went up 1,000%. I believe we're going to be in for some beautiful price action on XRP very soon. And a lot of problems in our lives, as well as a profit-taking opportunity, will unfold that we must take advantage of. Stay the course, everyone, because the road is about to get bumpy. The US dollar being surpassed as the world's reserve currency is happening in real time. And former President Trump discussed how the US dollar is dying. The US dollar is collapsing. And that's an ominous sign for what's to come on the world stage.
Our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard. which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. There will be no defeat like that. That will take us away from being even a great power.
And ladies and gentlemen, not only did he say that, but he also stated that China will probably displace the US dollar as the #1 currency in the world. This is unbelievable. This is a bold claim by a former president who loves the dollar. And it's all because we are going towards the Eastern system. The Brics nations is beginning to get more and more people backing it. Even our ally in France is going to be going against the US and will engage with China. This is massive. A lot of people are pivoting and isolating the United States as well, as the dollar is the reserve currency of the world. And yet again, I want you all to watch a powerful clip discussing more about the Brics nations, as they're the most important coalition the world needs to be paying attention to over the next few years.
The United States dollar under threat? Well, the U.S. dollar became the backbone of the global economy after World War II because of America's robust economy, its democracy, and its transparent regulatory systems, which made the nation seem like a safe place for international investors. But now the Brics nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have announced plans to develop a new currency. Their goal is to reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar and other Western currencies as well, and protect themselves from international pressure. In fact, Brazil and China have already struck a deal to bypass the dollar when paying for trade goods, which is a major milestone in Beijing's long-term plans to establish its own currency, the yuan, as the dominant international currency. So, what will this new currency look like, and what will it mean for the dollar? Well, joining us now is Professor John Quelch from the Miami Herbert Business School at the University of Miami. So the Brics nations aren't a formal trade bloc. So if they do, in fact, create this new currency, how will it ultimately be used?
So I think what we'd find is that it would initially be used in very large transactions that are government-style transactions between two or more of the countries involved. Just to give a little bit of background here, it is the case that the U.S. dollar has a role that is outsized relative to the 24% of world GDP that the U.S. commands. So the U.S. dollar is involved in almost 90% of all international trade settlements, and around about 60% of foreign currency reserves around the world held by central banks are held in U.S. dollars. So the Brics nations combined, their GDP is around about 25% of world GDP, vis-a-vis the US now at 24%. And so it's not surprising that these nations collectively are saying, hey, wait a minute, why should our macroeconomic policies and exchange rates be at the mercy of US dollar Federal Reserve?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you keep that in your mind, the Brics nations are on the verge of surpassing the United States, the Western world, and the US dollar. We also need to understand that Tether is a ticking time bomb. You know what's so ironic? Is that Tether's logo literally looks like a bomb going off. Isn't that funny? Needless to say, we have here on CoinDesk that stablecoin user Tether used Signature Bank to transfer US dollars from the US to the Bahamas. Isn't that interesting? The bank Tether used has now imploded, but we didn't see what happened with Circle and Silicon Valley Bank happen to Tether yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we still need a narrative and an excuse for them to come down extremely hard with regulation, especially for stablecoins, especially for exchanges, especially for the entire crypto market. And Tether is the ticking time bomb that I'm looking at that may be the catalyst for this. You see, the global elite, they're pissed off right now. They're pissed off because crypto investors have found a way to work around the system while this banking crisis is upon us. We are all supposed to be sheep, cattle to be slaughtered during this banking crisis. But if we're outside the system, we'll be in the assets that will be inversely proportional to the biggest financial crisis in human history. That's why they're so pissed off about FTX. Here we have that they're actually considering reviving the FTX exchange, stating, I looked at the financial statements which built up the bankruptcy restructuring team and it's extremely profitable. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine if one of us grew a multi-billion-dollar racket that imploded. We would be in jail already, not on house arrest with our parents in Silicon Valley. We would be absolutely destroyed already. But the thing is, FTX was a political arm for the establishment. They were in deep with the political leaders. And that's why FTX is being given this special treatment.
So I guess the key thing is that a properly run exchange is a very lucrative business, obviously. I mean, let's just take out the fraud or alleged fraud, what occurred, and all the lawsuits, etc. Let's say blank canvas, a properly run exchange is extremely profitable. And I looked at the financial statements, and which was built up by Kroll, the bankruptcy restructuring team, and it's extremely profitable. There are obviously FTX from the outset. If you introduce or implemented all the attributes that it was supposed to implement, it's a legitimate exchange. And in fact, that's the whole premise of the reason why I used FTX. For example, the VC backing.
So Binance has the choice to make. They can remain in the shadows as a rogue entity, very profitable, and you have to commend ZZ for what he's built. But if he wants to play in the real world and in the world's largest market, the US, he's going to have to disclose who owns him and who is backing that token.
And there you have it. The special treatment continues to be handed out to FTX, and even Kevin O'Leary, yet again, is bashing Binance for Binance calling out FTX and essentially collapsing Sam Bankman-Fried's empire. The reason is because they were supposed to be the golden child for the crypto market. They were getting the meetings with the SEC to implement favorable regulation for themselves. They wanted a crypto market monopoly, and Binance took them down. Ladies and gentlemen, Binance may be having a bumpy road in front of it because of what they did at FTX. They angered some high-level players, and let's see what happens. The CFTC brought out a lawsuit. Let's see if Binance and CZ can weather the storm. But something interesting to play out is the theory that I'm formulating, that they're going to bail out plenty of institutions that may have been corrupt and may have failed, like Silicon Valley Bank and like FTX, because they were systemically important for the New World Order. It's only speculation, but it's not unfounded. We have plenty of things to cover in the days, weeks, and months to come, as this entire rollout is accelerating in real time. Stay the course, my friends, and we'll all be okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Why do I hold XRP? Because Ripple's the chosen one to lead the new global digital payment system, and they use XRP. In 2013, the Federal Reserve began looking for faster payments options. 2 years later, an action plan was born and a federal payments task force was created. It included one company focused on crypto, Ripple. In 2014, the World Bank and Better Than Cash Alliance, which includes the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the governments of 32 countries, put out a report called The Opportunities of Digitizing Payments. 1 year later, the Better Than Cash Alliance featured one crypto company on their website, Ripple. Today, Better Than Cash Alliance and all other UN initiatives are focused on a single agenda, the Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. You can see the SDGs logo on Bill Gates' lapel, world-leading companies, the Better Than Cash Alliance website, and on the UN's official exchange, Exchange. What crypto is Exchange officially utilizing for their carbon credit solution? XRP. The world will move to a new international standard for exchanging electronic messages between financial institutions by 2025 called ISO 20022. Who was the first ISO 20022 member focused on distributed ledger technology? Ripple, who's partnered with over 300 financial institutions including Bank of America, American Express, PNC, Santander, SBI, HSBC, Standard Chartered Bank, Bank of England, India, Singapore, Scotland, Australia, and Indonesia, the largest banks in Japan, Canada, Egypt, the Middle East, United Arab Emirates, Thailand, Morocco, Bhutan, South Korea, Brazil, and Latin America. Ripple, who is a former employee overseeing the Federal Reserve. Ripple, a former employee overseeing the world's largest asset manager, BlackRock's digital asset division. Ripple, leading Australia's CBDC effort. Ripple, who hired a former Treasury of the United States. Ripple, 2 former Federal Reserve attorneys to their board. Ripple, 2 former Clinton and Obama advisors, former Minister of Defense and Economics of Germany, former business director at Swift, former Swift board member, former CFO of PayPal, former head of the DTCC, former chief business officer at Uber, former VP of Amazon, and former SEC chair on their legal team. Ripple, who's a member of the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Digital Euro Association, Mojaloop, IMF's high-level advisory board on fintech, Hyperledger Blockchain Consortium, Open Payments Coalition, Faster Payments Council, Global Payments Steering Group, Cross-Border Working Group, International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications, Crypto Climate Accord, University Blockchain Initiative, World Wide Web Consortium, and a featured partner of the World Economic Forum with 3 members of their team directly listed on the WF website. Ripple. Now, does Ripple and XRP sound like they're going to disappear, or do they sound like they're part of a much bigger plan? You decide.